Hello and good morning once again. Uh, this is the weekly outlook for US100 and US500, and I it's a very interesting week for these two assets because if you haven't noticed yet, we are currently in a consolidation. We are currently in a range consolidation. So let's look at how price printed yesterday and how last week. Let's start from the weekly chart because this is a weekly outlook. So yes, so if you haven't noticed, we are currently in a range. Even on the weekly time frame, it's very visible because you can see we had this last up close change instead to the downside right there. Then this one was traded against right here. So we have currently been forming changes instead of delivery to the opposite sides week by week, and so this current week we had the previous week we had this retracement to the downside. So you remember what I talked about. I wanted price to trade to the upside, displace to the upside, sweep these buy side liquidities and maybe form another all-time high, but uh, it was a little bit different, but nevertheless we were able to catch very nice longs, and I shared that on a trade breakdown as well as my Telegram group live. So we had this retracement to the downside, and then price started to recoup back to the upside, but it was not able to close above it. So I will take it as a retracement for now, but then when you go to the daily chart, you will see something very different. So we had the same thing on US 500. Just hide these drawings first. So we had the same retracement uh, on US 500. So I am interpreting this as a retracement because my general bias is bullish, and then we had this so we have several price points that I will be looking to observe, although I will not be really actively trading this week US 100 and 500. However, if price gives me something tempting enough, I will be in the market. So let's look at the daily chart because that is where we have so the weekly chart is just for context, just to know what the markets are doing, where they're going, and so forth and so forth. So I would like to believe that the retracement is done, but I will trade very carefully, and I would like anyone watching this to do the same. So looking at what we have here, so US 100 yesterday opened with a gap to the downside, so we have that marked out. We will mark that out as my NWOG. So that is an NWOG. Reduce opacity. Okay, so we have that NWOG. So these are the levels, the other week's NWOGs and so forth and so forth. I explained about them in the previous weekly outlook, so they should not be confusing you if you watch that video. So yes, so we have that NWOG or NDOG because it was on Friday and then this was Monday open. So looking at what Monday yesterday did, that's why I have mentioned in the gold weekly outlook that it's very advisable to stay off the market the day after a bank holiday, US bank holiday, because that price action wasn't really uh, what word can I use to explain that? It was a bank holiday, so price wasn't really delivering efficiently, or probably we could have some inefficiencies that need to be balanced before price continues to the other side, or maybe, for example, we would like to omit that day in quotes because it was a holiday and there was really no active buying and selling of these commodities and assets. So it wasn't business as usual in some sort of way. So but still, let's look at what Monday's candle did. So Monday's candle traded to the downside. Uh, it dipped into the NWOG, this right here, and then it respected 50% of that NWOG. When we come to this other brother, we had something of the same sort, because we have this NWOG. It's an NWOG, so I should label it as such. Okay, new week opening up. You can see that price tapped into it, and again, so actually on this one, the body did not even reach into that. It only went to the downside and went back to the upside close. So what does that tell us is that last week was a retracement, and we are starting to get some signs that price is now done with that weekly retracement, and this week we might get a very huge expansion to the upside. But then what do I need to see being respected if we are going to get that displacement to the upside? First of all, we have this sell side liquidity, which looks like it will be swept. So this is sell side liquidity on a daily level. Additionally, we have 50% of this premium week. So I would like to see this getting swept. So just a minute. Let me just put the 0.5 level. I would like to see this get swept and see how price reacts to the 0.5 level of that and this sell side liquidity. So let's just mark it out as SSL. Where is that template? Yes, so I would like to see that being swept, and then we have this NDOG, new day opening up, lying just below the sell side liquidity. I would like to see how price reacts to these three levels. So I have the 0.5 level, I have this sell side liquidity, which has formed relative equal lows with yesterday's lows, and then we have this new day opening up. This is not an NWOG, it's an NDOG because it was in the middle of the week. So this was Thursday, and then this was Friday, opened with a gap, leaving behind an NDOG. So I would like to see how price reacts to that, and then maybe I can start looking for price runs to the upside. So I think I have the same thing on this one. So this is where I start predicting an SMT will form, because we could probably not sweep this low on one asset. We could leave it open on US500 because it has been the more bullish one. You remember last week I explained that concept and how I took the trade on US500. It has been the more bullish one. So we could leave this open here, and then the same, I'll mark the same 0.5 level on mean threshold. So this discount week, and I would just like to see how price reacts to that. And then remember, we are in a consolidation in a range, so I am being very careful about trading because price could go either way until it finishes the retracement, the trading in the range. So these are the three levels I will be observing: this 0. The mean threshold of this discount week, this sell side liquidity, which I would allow not to be swept on one of the assets, the more bullish one. So currently it is US 500. You can see that we have already swept previous day low on US 500. So maybe as we go into the New York session later in the day, we will have more information. I will share about it on my channel. So basically that's it for the levels that I'm talking about. These are the levels I will be observing throughout the week to know if price wants to go to continue with the retracement, or we are done with the weekly retracement that I started off the video talking about, and now price is ready to pump to the upside. So that's it for now. I have talked about the weekly fundamental analysis. We have the World Economic Forum annual meetings, blah blah blah, going on, and as I have said, I do not follow the data to know how. The only data I'm interested in mostly are the interest rates and so forth and so forth, but these are the ones I just need to know the time to avoid trading during those times and before those times. So That's it for now. See you during the New York session in my channel. The link to the Telegram channel will be is in the description. I will share my trades and my analysis as the day unfolds if I take any trade. So thank you for tuning in and have a great week ahead.